Hello folks, Dr. Nels here, coming to you this week with some follow-up from last week, as this series is on creating culture and establishing some core values. And last week we talked about culture and some of how we got to where we're at here at this particular operation. And this week we're going to dive a little bit deeper, because as I said last week, you've got a culture in your family, in your operation, at your church, in your community. There's a culture, and it's just a matter of how healthy is it and who's driving the culture. Are we as leaders driving the culture, or do we have other people driving the culture? You've got a culture. It's just how healthy is it? And as I think about this too, I've dealt with a lot of strategy, tactical type interactive sessions with some different leaders and different businesses I'm involved in, and I get really, I don't always appreciate doing strategy sessions with groups of people that they don't know our business or businesses, and two, when there's not a solid set of core values or a great culture in place. We can focus on strategy all day long and tactics and those things, but if our culture is bad, if that underlying culture and core values is not set, and that culture is just not awesome, your strategy is just not going to be as successful. It may not work at all. It might work partially, but if your culture and core values is kick-ass, then your strategy will work. But culture eats strategy for breakfast every single day. So keep that in mind. So as we think about that, it's also about our children. And oftentimes we as leaders or our organizations or whatever it might be, we're good at maybe coaching and molding and shaping our children, but we get hands off with people in business or communities. But it's really no different. If we want a good culture, we've got to force it. We've got to change it. We've got to be very intentional about it. Just like our children, we have intentional conversations. This is what we do. This is what we don't do. This is how we behave. This is how we don't behave. We have those very intentional conversations with our children. Why can't we do that with our people at work? And if you want a great culture at your place, whatever you're leading or whatever team you're on, if you're not even the leader within your own team, you can help change the culture. You can help force the culture. And as we work through that, it's no different than our children. We coach, we force it, we teach, we counsel, all those things. And as I went through this journey there clear back in '08, I told you I looked at Bill Snyder's 16 Rules of Success. Another one that we looked at was Pat Summitt's Definite Dozen, who was the coach at the head women's basketball coach at University of Tennessee, one of the greatest all-time win leaders of women's NCAA Division I basketball ever. Look her up, Google up her Pat Summitt's Definite Dozen. You can get some more examples from there. The other set that I looked at too, and I had heard him live speaking, was a gentleman named Gary Kelly. And Gary Kelly, I think he isn't anymore, he may have retired, but he was, at the time, was the CEO of Southwest Airlines. Very awesome dude, great leader, and I don't know if you've ever flown on Southwest Airlines, but it's a different experience. People are having fun, people are conversating, stewardesses are having fun with you versus most all other airlines, it's a sit in your seat, head forward, we don't say much, and it's just not fun. But Gary Kelly did a tremendous job, and he had three core values. One was having a servant's heart. Having a fun-loving spirit was another, and a third was having a warrior spirit. And those were just three simple core values that he led an entire company of, I don't know how many thousands of people, but that's what they lived by. That's what they live by every day. And so on our end, then we developed a set of core values, and we'll pop them in here so you can see them. But our core values revolve around no lies and no gossip. We work hard. We work really hard. We communicate. We have humility. We believe in family. Many others. Excellence in the ordinary. We have the cleanest clinic around. These are our core values that we developed over time. We've had several different iterations. They change. It's fluid. once you do something, it can change. There's no grounds of, okay, we've created some core values with our teams of people, what's important to us, but they can change. But these are how we got some of our ideas. We just looked at other people's. I've always said I'm really not that smart. I just look and watch and see and do what other people do. And so that gives you a rough idea. But for us here and anything I'm a part of, we demand excellence. We have a high demand of excellence. We are going to set the standard at whatever industry, whatever we're doing. We're going to set the standard. We're going to be the standard, and we're going to tell our people we have a high demand of excellence, a high demand for excellence. If you want to be a part of our team, we believe in excellence, and we don't think there's anything wrong with that. We destroy mediocrity. We hate mediocrity. My mother taught me that years and years ago, and that's what we live by. And core values and culture is a part of that. That high demand for excellence is in our core values. We have to do that if we want to be noble servants in what we do every single day, which we believe is life-changing to many people that we interact with. And that's what we do, and that's what we believe. These are things you can do with your people, with your family, with your organization, with your teams, with your schools, with churches, whatever it can be, is do this. And next week, we'll talk a little bit more on this. If you like this material, click this button here, subscribe here. We'd love to have you. Like it, share it. If you believe in it, leave us your comments. We watch your feedback. We'll listen to your feedback. Thanks for spending some of your valuable time with us. Cheers, amigos.